Hello, dear listener. My name is Mrinmoy, and I am grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with me. Tonight, we are going somewhere far away from the worries of your day. We are leaving behind the noise, the hurry, the endless lists and alerts. We are traveling not just across the world, but across thousands of years. We are going to Egypt, not the Egypt of tourists and cameras, but the Egypt of the spirit, the Egypt of golden sand, of deep blue sky, and of stone that has stood for 35 centuries. We are going to the heart of the ancient world. We are going inside the temple of Karnak. This is the time of Pharaoh Amenhotep III in the 18th dynasty. It is a time of peace, prosperity, and magnificent building. The great temple of Ammonius Ra is at the height of its power and beauty. And you are not a visitor here. You are the high priest. You have spent 30 years preparing for this sacred role. You have learned the hidden names of the gods. You have memorized the prayers that keep the universe in balance. Your hands know the weight of the offering bowls. Your feet know every stone corridor. This is not just your work. It is your life. It is your honor. Close your eyes now if you have not already. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel your body become heavy against your bed. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to go. Only listen. Only breathe. Only rest. Let the temple receive you. In the darkness before dawn, when the world still sleeps and only the stars watch over Egypt, the sacred temple of Karnak awakens. The stars are countless tonight. They scatter across the sky like grains of salt on a dark cloth. The constellation of the bull moves slowly toward the west. The star of Isis, which the Greeks would one day call Sirius, shines low on the horizon. There is no moon. The world is drowned in deep, soft blackness. It is the most holy time. The priests know this. They have always known this. The hour before dawn is when the boundary between the physical world and the spiritual world grows thin. It is when the veil between what is seen and what is hidden becomes almost transparent. It is when a person can, if they are purified and prepared, feel the presence of the divine as clearly as they feel their own breath. You, the high priest, have known this since you were a boy. You were chosen for this path when you were only 7 years old. The old priests saw something in you, a stillness, a reverence, a willingness to listen. Now, after 3 decades of study and service, you are the one they all look to. You are the bridge between the people and the gods. You open your eyes in complete darkness. For a moment, you do not move. This is part of the practice. The first few breaths of the day must be taken with full awareness. You inhale slowly, feeling the cool night air fill your chest. You exhale even more slowly, letting go of the last traces of sleep. There were no dreams tonight, or if there were, they have dissolved like morning mist. Your mind is clear. Your body is rested. You sit up on your simple sleeping mat. Your quarters are small and plain. The walls are undecorated stone. There is no furniture except a low wooden chest for your few possessions and a small shrine in the corner, too dark to see. You have never wanted more. The temple provides everything you need, and the gods require humility. Your feet touch the stone floor. It is cool, smooth from centuries of use. You stand slowly, letting your spine lengthen, letting your shoulders relax. You are not young anymore, but you are strong. Your body is lean from years of walking the temple corridors, from carrying offerings, from kneeling before the shrines. You walk to the small basin in the corner of your room. The water comes from the sacred cisterns beneath the temple, fed by the Nile itself. You cup your hands and pour water over your face. It is cold, shocking at first, then cleansing. You wash your hands, your arms, your feet. This is the ritual ablution. It is not merely about cleanliness. It is about preparation. Each drop of water carries away not only dust but distraction, not only sweat but selfishness. You are washing away the small self, the worried self, the tired self. You are making room for something larger. You dry your hands on a length of clean linen. Then you dress, only a simple white kilt wrapped around your waist. No jewelry, no ornaments, no symbols of your rank. In this hour before the sun rises, you are not the high priest. You are simply a servant of the divine. Ego has no place here. You leave your quarters and step into the corridor. The darkness is almost total. You cannot see your hand in front of your face, but you do not need to see. Your feet know this path. You have walked it 10,000 times. Every morning for 30 years you have made this same journey. The stones themselves seem to rise up to meet your feet. You walk slowly. Each step is a prayer. Left foot, right foot. Breathe in, breathe out. The corridor is narrow here. The walls are close on either side. You reach out and let your fingertips brush against the stone. It is rough in some places, smooth in others. You can feel the carved hieroglyphics under your touch, the shapes of birds and eyes and seated gods. You have read these words 1,000 times, but in the darkness you feel them differently. They are not just writing. They are living things, spells and prayers that have been carved into the very bones of the temple. You turn a corner, then another. The corridor widens. You are passing through one of the great courtyards now, though you cannot see it. You can feel the space opening above you. The air changes. It becomes cooler, more expansive. You can smell the stone, the mineral scent of ancient sandstone, slightly sweet, slightly dry. Ahead of you, invisible in the darkness, is the small shrine reserved for the high priest alone. You find it as you always find it. Your hand touches the door frame. You step inside. You kneel. The floor is cold beneath your knees. Before you, somewhere in the blackness, is the small image of Ammonius. You cannot see it, but you know it is there. You can feel its presence. The statue is only a foot tall, carved from dark stone, simple in form, but it holds something that cannot be explained. A weight, a stillness, a sense that you are not alone. You close your eyes, or perhaps they were already closed. It does not matter now. You pray, not with words, not yet. The first prayer of the day is silent. It is the prayer of simply being present, of sitting in the darkness and offering nothing but your attention. The gods do not need your words. They do not need your offerings. What they want, what they have always wanted, is your awareness, your willingness to be here, now, fully, slowly, almost without realizing it. Words begin to form in your mind. Ancient words. Words in the old tongue that you learned as a child. I am purified. I am worthy. I come to serve the divine will. You say them 3 times. Once for your body. Once for your heart. Once for your spirit. And then you sit in silence for a long moment, feeling the presence of something greater than yourself, something vast and hidden and eternal, something that has no name but answers to all names. A deep peace settles over you, the kind of peace that is not fragile but strong, not temporary but lasting. It is the peace of knowing your place in the order of things, of understanding that you are small, yes, but that your smallness is part of a magnificent whole. You rise. The day has not yet begun, but you are ready for it. The first light has not yet appeared, but the sky is no longer completely black. There is a shift, a softening. The stars are beginning to fade, one by one, as if someone is gently blowing them out. You walk toward the great courtyard. Your footsteps echo differently here. The space is vast. You can feel the openness around you, even in the darkness. The columns that will be visible later are still hidden, but you know they are there. Towering stone pillars carved with papyrus and lotus, reaching up toward a ceiling lost in shadow. You are not alone now. Somewhere in the darkness, you hear the soft movements of other priests. They are waking. They are performing their own ablutions. Soon they will join you, but for now, there is only you and the approaching dawn. You reach the first brazier. It is a large bowl of stone, waist-high, filled with charcoal and dried herbs. You strike your flint. Once, twice. On the 3rd strike, a spark catches. A tiny orange glow appears. You lean down and breathe gently onto it, feeding it with your own breath. The flame grows, slowly at first, then with more confidence. The fire spreads across the charcoal. It illuminates your face, your hands, the stone floor beneath your feet. You light a taper from this flame and move to the next brazier. And the next. Each one catches and grows. The light spreads through the courtyard like water finding its level. Shadows retreat into corners. The stone columns begin to emerge from the darkness, first as vague shapes, then with clear edges, then with all their carved details. The sky above the courtyard is no longer black. It is deep blue, then violet along the eastern horizon. The stars are almost gone now. Only the brightest ones remain, and they are fading. Other priests begin to arrive. They emerge from the shadows, their white linen catching the firelight. They move silently, each one going to his assigned place. Some are young, newly initiated, their faces smooth and serious. Others are older, their hair gray or gone, their movements slower but more precise. They greet you with a gesture, right hand over the heart, a slight bow of the head. You return the gesture to each one. These are your brothers, your community. You have served alongside some of them for decades. Your second in command approaches. His name is Mary. He has been with you for 15 years. He is younger than you by a decade, but his wisdom is deep. His eyes are kind. His hands are steady. The offerings are ready, he says quietly. The bread was baked before midnight. The flowers were cut at the 3rd hour. The oils have been consecrated. You nod. And the sacred bark? Prepared. The priests have been watching over it through the night. Good. There is no need for more words. You have done this together so many times that conversation is almost unnecessary. You move together toward the inner sanctuary, walking side by side through the growing light. The temple is waking up. You can feel it happening around you like a great organism stirring after sleep. The sounds are soft but many. Footsteps in distant corridors. Voices murmuring prayers. The clink of pottery as offerings are arranged. The splash of water in the purification pools. You pass through a series of gates. Each one is taller than the last. Each one is more heavily carved. The pylons, they are called. Massive stone gateways that mark the transition from one sacred space to the next. The first pylon is open to all. The second is for priests only. The third, deeper still, is for the high priest and his most trusted assistants. The air changes as you move deeper. It becomes cooler. Still, the sounds of the outside world fade away. No more birds, no more wind, only the sound of your own breathing and the soft pad of your footsteps. You enter the hypostyle hall. Even after all these years, it takes your breath away. 134 columns rise around you, arranged in 16 rows. The tallest of them are nearly 70 feet high. You cannot see the ceiling above them. It is lost in shadow, even with the morning light beginning to filter through the high windows. The columns are carved from top to bottom with hieroglyphics and images of the gods. In the dim light, they seem to move, to breathe. You walk down the central aisle. Your footsteps echo and re-echo, bouncing off stone, multiplying until it sounds like 100 people are walking with you. But you are alone. Only you and Mary and the silent columns. The hypostyle hall is not just a room. It is a forest of stone. A recreation of the primordial marsh from which the first god arose. When you walk through it, you are walking through the moment of creation itself, the beginning of all things. You reach the far end of the hall. There is another door here, smaller than the others. It leads to the Inner Sanctum, the holiest place in all of Egypt. But you will not enter there yet. Not until the sun has risen. Not until the ceremonies are complete. For now you turn and walk back toward the courtyard. The sun is coming. You can feel it in your bones. The air is changing. The light is changing. The world is holding its breath. You return to the courtyard. The other priests are assembled now, 40 of them, standing in rows facing east. Their white linen glows in the increasing light. Their hands are folded in front of them. Their faces are turned toward the horizon. You take your place at the front. The sacred bark sits on a low platform to your right. It is a ceremonial boat, perhaps 6 feet long, made of wood covered in gold leaf. The prow is carved to look like the head of a ram, the symbol of Ammonius. In the center of the boat is a small shrine, curtained in fine linen. Inside that shrine is an image of the god, hidden from view. The bark never sails on water. It is carried by priests during festivals. But it is still a boat, still a vessel, still the vehicle that carries the god through the sky and through the underworld. You look east. The sky is gold now, and pink, and orange. The sun has not yet appeared, but its light is spilling over the horizon like water over a rim. The clouds, if there are any, are touched with color. The world is becoming beautiful. You raise your arms, and you begin to chant, "Homage to you, Ora, at your rising. You are beautiful, you are renewed, you are eternal." The gods rejoice when they see you. The earth sings your name. We are here. We are watching. We are ready. May you rise in peace. May you sail across the sky in peace. May you triumph over darkness. For you are Ra, the creator of light, and we are your servants forever. The other priests join you. Their voices weave with yours, creating harmonies that seem too beautiful to be made by human throats. The sound rises into the morning sky. It fills the courtyard. It echoes off the stone columns. It becomes part of the air itself. And then, over the eastern pylon, the first curve of the sun appears. A sliver of gold, then a crescent, then a half circle. The light touches the temple, touches the stone, touches your face. It touches the faces of all the priests. The ceremony has begun. The sun climbs above the eastern pylon. Its light pours into the temple complex like water through a broken dam. The shadows that have held the temple for so many hours retreat. They run from the light like frightened animals, hiding under columns and behind statues. But there is nowhere for them to go. The light finds everything. You feel it on your face first, then on your chest, then on your arms. The warmth is gentle at first, then stronger. You close your eyes for a moment and let yourself feel it. This is not just sunlight. This is Ra, the God himself, touching you, blessing you, reminding you that you are alive. The chanting continues. The other priests do not stop. The words are ancient. The melody is older than anyone can remember. It came from the beginning of time, passed down from priest to priest, generation after generation. You are not the first to chant these words. You will not be the last. You are simply one voice in a chain that stretches back to the first sunrise. You walk toward the sacred bark. Mary follows you. Two younger priests come forward from the group and kneel beside the boat. They are the ones who will carry it if needed, but for now they simply wait. You reach into the bark and draw back the linen curtain that hides the inner shrine. Inside, the small golden statue of Ammonius Ra sits on a wooden pedestal. The god is shown as a man with the head of a falcon, wearing the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt. His eyes are inlaid with lapis lazuli. They seem to look directly at you. But the statue is not the god. It is a place for the god to dwell. A vessel. A house. The god himself is invisible everywhere and nowhere, hidden within all things. The statue is simply a focus, a point of contact between the human and the divine. You bow to the statue. Your forehead nearly touches the ground. Then you rise and begin the ritual of offerings. The offerings are brought forward on wooden trays. The bread is round and flat, baked in the temple ovens before midnight. It is still fresh. You can smell it, warm and slightly sweet. You place the bread on the altar beside the bark. Next comes the beer. It is not like the beer of today. It is thick and nourishing, made from barley and flavored with dates. You pour it into a golden bowl on the altar. The liquid is dark and foamy. It splashes gently against the sides of the bowl. Then the flowers, lotus blossoms mostly. Their petals are white tinged with pink at the edges. They are still closed because the sun has only just risen. But as the morning warms them, they will open. You arrange them in a vase beside the bread and beer. Their scent is subtle, sweet, clean. Then the oils, sacred oils in small alabaster jars, frankincense, myrrh, cedar. You pour a few drops of each onto a stone dish. The smells combine and rise into the air, complex, mysterious, the smell of prayer. Finally, the incense. You take a pinch of resin and place it on a hot coal from the nearest brazier. Smoke rises immediately, thick and white. It curls upward toward the sky, carrying your prayers with it. You speak the words of blessing, the words that transform these ordinary things into sacred offerings. This bread is the body of the land. May it sustain the god as it sustains the people. This beer is the joy of life. May it gladden the heart of the divine. These flowers are the beauty of creation. May they remind the God of all that is good. These oils are the essence of purity. May they cleanse and anoint the sacred presence. This incense is the breath of prayer. May it rise to the heavens and find favor. You step back. The offerings are complete. The god has been fed. The cycle has been maintained. And now, in the quiet that follows, there is space for contemplation. The priests begin to disperse. Some go to their other duties. Some remain in the courtyard, kneeling in silent prayer. Mary touches your arm gently and then leaves you alone. You stand before the altar, watching the smoke rise, feeling the sun grow warmer on your skin. At dawn, Ra is reborn as the child Khepri, full of energy and life. The scarab beetle is his symbol, because the beetle rolls its ball of dung across the sand just as Ra rolls the sun across the sky. As he travels across the heavens in his solar bark, he grows older, becoming the powerful adult Ra at noon. By evening, he becomes the aged Adam, wise and tired, ready for rest. But as he enters the western sky, Ra faces his greatest trial. He must journey through the Duat, the underworld, where the serpent of chaos Apophis waits to swallow him and prevent the dawn from ever coming again. Apophis is 100 feet long. His scales are made of flint. His breath is poison. His hunger is endless. Every night, Ra battles Apophis. Every night, this cosmic struggle plays out in darkness, unseen by human eyes but felt in the deepest places of the human heart. The other gods fight alongside Ra. Set, the god of storms, drives his spear into the serpent's side. Isis, the great mother, speaks spells of protection. But the battle is never easy. The outcome is never certain. And every morning Ra triumphs. Every morning, he defeats chaos and returns to bring life to the world. The serpent is wounded but not destroyed. He will return the next night, and the night after that. The battle is eternal. The struggle never ends. The priests of Karnak know they are not merely observing a light in the sky. They are participating in the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Through their rituals and prayers, through their offerings and chants, they help ensure Ra's victory. They are guardians of cosmic balance. They are warriors in a war that has no end. You stand in the courtyard for a long time, watching the sun climb higher, watching the shadows shorten, watching the temple come fully awake. The great gates at the entrance of the complex are open now. You can hear the sounds of the city beyond, the distant calls of merchants, the lowing of cattle, the voices of children. Thebes is waking up, just as the temple woke up. The whole world is waking up, but you are not ready to leave the sanctuary yet. The morning may be over, but your work has only begun. There are gardens to tend, scrolls to read, young priests to teach, repairs to oversee. The temple is a living organism, and like all living things, it requires constant care. You turn away from the altar. You take one last look at the sacred bark, at the golden statue, at the rising smoke of the incense. Then you walk back through the hypostyle hall, through the great courtyards, toward the other parts of the temple. The day stretches before you, long and full, but you are not tired. You are not worried. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. The gods are with you. The sun is with you. Maat is with you. All is well. Everything connects to everything else. A young priest is working nearby, pulling weeds from a bed of herbs. His name is Ka. He has only been at the temple for 2 years. He is still learning, still finding his way. You watch him for a moment. His movements are careful, respectful. He treats each plant as if it were sacred, because it is. You walk over to him and kneel beside him in the soil. Do you know what this plant is? You ask, touching the feathery leaves of a low-growing herb. Ka looks up. His eyes are bright, eager. Chamomile, high priest. It is used for calming the stomach and for sleep. That is correct. And what about this one? You point to a taller plant with small white flowers. Chamomile as well? You smile. No. That is feverfew. It looks similar, but the leaves are different. See how these leaves are more rounded. Feverfew is for headaches and fevers. Never confuse them. A person who needs calm might become too sleepy. A person with a fever might not receive the help they need. Ka nods seriously. He will remember this. You can see it in his face. You move through the garden, checking each bed. The papyrus grows near the water's edge, tall and feathery. Its stems are used for making paper, for building boats, for weaving baskets. It is the most useful plant in Egypt. The lotus flowers float on the surface of a small pool, their blue petals still closed against the morning. They will open when the sun is higher. The myrrh trees are small and thorny, but their resin is precious, worth more than gold. Comes from Punt, far to the south, across seas that most people will never see. Each plant has its story, its purpose, its place in the order of things. This is what the garden teaches, that everything belongs, everything has value. The smallest weed, the tallest tree, the tiniest flower. All of it is part of the great web. All of it is loved by the gods. You leave the gardens and walk toward the administrative wing of the temple. The sun is higher now. The air is warm but not yet hot. The stone walls of the buildings hold the coolness of the night, and you walk close to them, grateful for the shade. The administrative center is quiet at this hour. Most of the scribes have already begun their work. They sit on low stools at long tables, their papyrus scrolls unrolled before them, their writing brushes held between their fingers. Ink pots stand beside each scribe, filled with black carbon ink and red ochre. You pause in the doorway and watch. The chief scribe, a man named Thamos, is working on a large scroll. His hand moves quickly but precisely. Each hieroglyph is perfect. Each bird, each eye, each seated god is drawn with the same care that a painter gives to a temple wall. Thamos looks up and sees you. He rises and bows. High priest, the reports are ready for your review. You nod and sit on the stool beside him. He hands you a scroll. It lists the grain donations from the past week. The numbers are large. Thousands of bushels from farms up and down the Nile. The temple's lands are vast. Its wealth is enormous. But you do not think of this as personal wealth. You are a steward, caretaker. The grain belongs to the gods. It is used to feed the priests, to feed the workers, to feed the poor who come to the temple gates. You read the scroll slowly. Everything is in order. The harvest has been good. The stores are full. Writing is sacred work. The god Thoth invented it. He is the ibis-headed god of wisdom, of knowledge, of the moon. He measures time. He records the deeds of every soul. He stands beside the scales of justice in the hall of two truths, writing down whether the heart is heavier than the feather of Maat. When a scribe puts brush to papyrus, he is participating in the work of Thoth. He is preserving knowledge. He is creating order out of confusion. He is making sure that what is true is not forgotten. You watch Thamos for a while longer. The way his hand moves. The way his breath slows when he is concentrating. The way the hieroglyphs seem to come alive under his brush. You think about all the scrolls in the temple, thousands of them, stored in rooms and rooms. Some of them are religious texts, spells for the afterlife, hymns to the gods, instructions for rituals. Others are administrative, records of grain and cattle and land, letters to other temples, reports to the pharaoh, even love poems and stories. All of it is worth preserving. All of it is part of the great story. You leave the scribes and walk to the eastern side of the temple. Here, the maintenance crews are at work. The sun has been rising for hours now, and the stone is warm to the touch. The temple is eternal, but even eternity requires care. Stone cracks, paint fades, hieroglyphics wear away. The work of restoration is never finished. It is passed from one generation to the next like all sacred duties. You watch a mason repairing a damaged section of a column. He is using a copper chisel and a wooden mallet. The sound is rhythmic. Top, top, top. He is carving a new hieroglyph to replace one that has become illegible. His hands are steady. His eyes are focused. Which god is this? You ask. He looks up and smiles. He is an old man, older than you. His face is weathered. His arms are strong. Sekhmet, high priest, the lion-headed goddess. She protects the temple from disease and evil. This inscription asks her to guard the northern gate. You nod. May she hear your prayer. The mason returns to his work. Top, top, top. The sound is almost musical. It is the sound of love. Love for the temple. Love for the gods. Love for the work itself. You walk through the temple observing. A painter is touching up the colors on a relief of the pharaoh making an offering to Ammonius. The blue paint has faded over the years, and she is carefully reapplying it. Her brush is fine. Her hand is steady. The pharaoh's skin becomes young again. His crown becomes bright. His offering becomes fresh. A group of younger priests is cleaning the floor of the hypostyle hall. They work in a line, each one sweeping with a palm frond broom. The dust rises around them, golden in the sunlight that streams through the high windows. They chant as they work, a simple song, a work song. The words are not complicated. They are about the beauty of the temple, the honor of serving, the joy of being part of something larger than oneself. You stand in the doorway and listen. The song rises and falls. The brooms sweep in time with the rhythm. The dust settles slowly. This is the temple. Not just the rituals, though those are important. Not just the offerings, though those are sacred. But this, the daily work, the sweeping and the painting and the carving, the care that is given to every stone, every wall, every statue. The temple is a living thing, and like all living things, it requires constant attention, constant love, constant devotion. You feel a deep sense of gratitude rise in your chest. Gratitude for the workers, for the scribes, for the gardeners, for the young priests sweeping the floor, for the old mason carving stone. They are all serving. They are all praying. They are all keeping Ma'at alive. The morning is passing. The sun is climbing toward noon. The heat is increasing. Soon it will be time to rest, to eat, to retreat into the cool shadows of the inner temple. But first, there is one more place to go, one more duty to perform. The inner sanctum, the holiest of holy places, the shrine of Ammonius. You have been preparing for this moment all day. Every ritual, every prayer, every offering, all of it has been leading to this. It is time. You leave the workers behind. You walk through the hypostyle hall, past the great columns, past the offering tables, past the doors that only you can open. The air grows cooler. The light grows dimmer. The sounds of the outside world fade away. You are approaching the heart of the temple. You are approaching the heart of everything. The corridor narrows. The ceiling lowers. You are moving through a series of chambers, each one smaller than the last, each one more intensely sacred. The walls are smooth here, unadorned. No hieroglyphics, no paintings, only stone, neutral, quiet, waiting. You pass through a doorway, then another. Each door is made of cedar wood, brought from the mountains of Lebanon, carved with protective spells on both sides. You touch each door as you pass through it. The wood is smooth from centuries of hands. Your own hand has worn a groove into the frame over the 30 years you have served as high priest. The air changes. It becomes cooler, still, heavy with the weight of countless prayers spoken here over thousands of years. You can feel them, the prayers of all the priests who came before you. They linger in the stone like heat lingers in sand after the sun goes down. They are not gone. They are not forgotten. They are present, always present. You enter the final chamber. It is small, no larger than your sleeping quarters. The walls are plain stone. The floor is smooth limestone. There are no windows, no torches, only a single lamp burning low in a niche near the ceiling, casting a dim golden light over the space. And in the center of the chamber, on a low pedestal, is the shrine. It is a box of wood covered in gold leaf, perhaps 4 feet tall, 3 feet wide. The gold catches the lamplight and seems to glow from within. The doors of the shrine are closed, sealed. They are opened only a few times a year during the great festivals. The rest of the time, the statue of Ammonius rests inside, hidden in darkness. You do not open the doors today. Today is not a festival. Today is an ordinary day, and yet it is not ordinary at all. Every day is sacred. Every moment is an opportunity for communion. You kneel before the closed shrine. The floor is cold. You feel the chill through your linen kilt, through your skin, down into your bones. But the cold is not unpleasant. It is grounding. It reminds you that you are here, now, in a body, on the earth. You place your hands on your thighs, palms up, open, receptive. You close your eyes, and you wait. There is no chant here, no bells, no offerings, no words at all. The inner sanctum is beyond words, beyond ritual, beyond all the things you have done this morning and all the things you will do this afternoon. Here in this small stone room, there is only presence. Your breath slows. You can feel it moving in and out of your body, cool on the inhale, warm on the exhale, a rhythm older than the temple, older than Egypt, older than humanity. Your mind begins to quiet. The thoughts that usually crowd your consciousness, the plans, the worries, the lists of things to do, they begin to fall away. Not because you push them away, but because they have nothing to hold on to here. In this place, there is no room for them. Only silence, only stillness, only the present moment. You feel something shift. It is difficult to describe. There are no words for it, really. The priests who first built this temple thousands of years ago, they knew this feeling. They built this chamber to contain it, to protect it, to make it accessible to those who were prepared. It is a feeling of expansion, as if the walls of the room have dissolved, as if the ceiling has lifted away, as if you are sitting not in a small stone chamber but in the middle of the night sky, surrounded by stars. And yet, at the same time, you feel a presence, close, intimate, as if someone is standing behind you, just out of sight, not threatening, not demanding, simply there, watching, waiting, present. This is Ammonius, the hidden one, the one whose name means the unseen. He is not a man with a falcon's head. He is not a statue of gold. Those are symbols, doorways, pointers. The reality of Ammonius is beyond all images, beyond all names. He is the force behind all forces. the consciousness beneath all consciousness, the deep silence out of which all sounds arise. You do not speak to him. There is no need. Words are too small, too slow, too human. Instead, you simply sit in his presence. You let yourself be known. You let yourself be seen. Not the version of yourself that you show to the other priests. Not the high priest, the leader, the wise one. But the real you, the one underneath all the roles and responsibilities. The one that is small and sometimes scared and always longing for connection. In the secret chamber of the temple, there is no distinction between the priest and the god. This is not the god speaking to the priest from outside. This is a meeting of consciousness with consciousness. The Egyptians understand that the divine is not separate from creation. It is woven through all things. The God is in the stone, in the light, in the water, in the human heart. When you look at the statue of Ammonius, you are not looking at a distant being who lives in the clouds. You are looking at a mirror, a reminder, a doorway into your own deepest nature. When you perform the rituals, you are not trying to convince a distant God to help you. You are remembering who you truly are, a part of the eternal divine, temporarily clothed in flesh, a spark of the great fire burning in the small lamp of the body. Maya teaches us this. There is an order to existence, a rightness, a balance. It is not a set of rules imposed from outside. It is the very nature of reality. When you act with honesty, with kindness, with justice, you are not following a commandment. You are aligning yourself with the way things actually are. You are serving Ma'at. You are keeping the universe in balance. You are, in that moment, one with the divine. The high priest's role is to be a bridge between worlds, to maintain the rituals that keep the boundaries clear, to offer on behalf of all people, to be a guardian of sacred knowledge. But in the end, the high priest is not special. He is not better than anyone else. He has simply been trained to remember what everyone already knows, deep down, beneath the noise and the distraction. And in this moment, alone in the inner sanctum, all questions fall away. There is only presence, only awareness, only the eternal now. You do not know how long you kneel there. Time is different in this place. The sun does not reach here. The hours do not matter. But eventually you feel the presence begin to recede, not disappear. It never disappears, but it becomes less intense, less immediate, like the feeling of a loved one leaving the room. They are still in the house, still near, but no longer in the same breath. You open your eyes. The lamp is still burning in its niche. The shrine is still closed. The walls are still stone. But something has changed. Something inside you has been shifted, realigned, renewed. You are not the same person who entered this chamber. You rise to your feet. Your knees are stiff from kneeling. You stretch your legs slowly, carefully. The blood flows back into your feet. You feel the stone floor beneath your soles. Solid, real. You bow to the closed shrine, a deep bow. Your forehead nearly touches your knees, and then you turn and walk back through the cedar doors, back through the narrowing corridors, back toward the sunlight. The world is waiting for you, but you carry the silence with you. You carry the presence. You carry the memory of who you really are. The afternoon sun is high and hot. The sky is a deep, impossible blue. The kind of blue that makes you think of eternity. The kind of blue that has no edges, no boundaries, no end. You walk through the temple complex with the young priest Kenti beside you. He has been your student for 7 years now. He came to the temple when he was only 14, a boy from a farming family in the Delta. He was small then, quiet, watchful. You saw something in him, a depth, a seriousness, a willingness to listen. Now he is 21, tall, strong. His face is becoming angular, the softness of youth fading into the sharpness of manhood. But his eyes are still the same, deep and thoughtful, curious about everything. You lead him to a small courtyard in the southern part of the temple. It is shaded by a high wall on one side and a row of columns on the other. There are stone benches here, worn smooth by generations of priests sitting in conversation. You sit on one bench. Kenti sits across from you. For a moment, neither of you speaks. This is part of the teaching, the silence, the waiting, the allowing of the other person to find their own words. Finally, Kenti speaks. High Priest, I have been thinking about the morning rituals. I know the words. I know the movements. I have performed them myself under the guidance of the other priests. But I do not think I understand them. Not truly. You nod. This is a good question. A real question. Not about technique. About meaning. Tell me what you do understand, you say, and I will try to fill in what is missing. Kenti considers this. He looks down at his hands, folded in his lap. Then he looks up at you. I understand that we honor RA, that we give him offerings, that we ask him to continue his journey across the sky. But why? Does RA need our offerings? Does he need our words? He is a god. He is the sun itself. What difference does our small ceremony make? You smile. This is the question that every priest must eventually ask. The question that separates the true servants from those who simply go through the motions. The offerings are not for RA, you say. Not really. RA does not need bread. RA does not need beer. RA is the source of all bread and all beer. What could we possibly give him that he does not already have? Kenti frowns. Then why do we make offerings? Because the offerings are for us. They are for the people. They are a way of reminding ourselves that everything comes from the divine. The bread is the gift of the earth. The beer is the gift of the grain. The flowers are the gift of the Nile. When we offer them, we are not giving something to the god. We are returning something to the god, acknowledging that we did not create it. We only received it. Kenti is quiet, thinking. The rituals are not about convincing RA to do anything. You continue. The sun will rise tomorrow whether we chant or not. Ra's bark will sail across the sky whether we light the incense or not. The rituals are about us. They are about aligning ourselves with the divine order. They are about remembering. They are about practicing gratitude and reverence until those qualities become part of us. Kenti leans forward. His eyes are bright. So the rituals are for our own transformation? Yes, exactly. The God does not change. We change. The divine is always present, always perfect, always complete. But we are distracted. We are forgetful. We are caught up in the small things of daily life. The rituals call us back. They remind us who we are. They reconnect us to the source. Kenti nods slowly. That is different from what I was taught as a child. The village priests always spoke of the gods as if they were far away, as if we had to beg them for mercy, for grain, for rain. The village priests serve an important purpose, you say. They give comfort to the people. They perform the ceremonies that mark births and deaths and marriages. But the deeper mysteries are not for everyone. Not because the gods are exclusive, but because most people are not ready. The knowledge would only confuse them or frighten them. And I am ready? You have been ready for some time, Kenti. But readiness is not a destination. It is a path. You are ready for the next step. And when you have taken that step, you will be ready for the one after that. And so on. There is no end to growth. No final moment of arrival. Only the endless unfolding of the divine through human awareness. Kenti asks about Ma'at, about truth and justice, about what it means to live a righteous life. You tell him that Ma'at is not a set of rules. It is a quality, a way of being in the world. It is honesty, yes, but not just honesty in words, honesty in action, honesty in intention. It is fairness, yes, but not just fairness in the law courts, fairness in every interaction, no matter how small. It is balance, yes, but not just balance between opposing forces, balance within the self, between the heart and the mind, between the body and the spirit, between what you want and what is true. Ma'at is not something you achieve, you say. It is something you embody, moment by moment, choice by choice. It is not about being perfect. It is about being aware, about noticing when you have drifted out of balance and gently returning. Again and again, for your whole life. Kenti is silent for a long time. You watch him process your words. You can almost see the thoughts moving behind his eyes, arranging themselves, finding their places. High Priest, he says finally, how do I know if I am serving Ma'at? How do I know if I am truly living in alignment with the divine order? You consider this. It is a good question, a deep question. You will know by the quality of your presence. You say, when you are serving Ma'at, you will feel peaceful. Not because your circumstances are peaceful, but because you are no longer fighting against reality. You will feel connected to others, not because everyone agrees with you, but because you recognize the divine in them as well as in yourself. You will feel open, receptive, willing to learn, willing to change. You lean back on the stone bench. The sun has moved. The shade has grown deeper. When you are out of alignment with Ma'at, you will feel the opposite. Tight, closed, defensive, anxious. You will feel separate from others, afraid of them, angry at them. Your mind will be full of judgments and complaints. Kenti nods. I have felt both. Many times. Good. That means you are paying attention. The goal is not to never feel the second. The goal is to notice it when it arises and to choose differently. Again and again. For the rest of your life. A young priest appears at the entrance to the courtyard. He waits there, not entering until you look up and nod. Then he speaks. High priest, the people are gathering at the northern gate. They are waiting for your blessing. You rise. Kenti rises with you. This too is part of your duty. Not just the rituals, not just the teaching, but the blessing, the connection with the people who live in the city beyond the temple walls. They cannot enter the inner sanctum. They cannot see the hidden shrine, but they can receive your blessing. They can feel, through you, the presence of the divine. You walk with Kenti toward the northern gate. The sun is lower now. The afternoon is passing. The shadows are growing longer. You reach the gate. It is a massive stone doorway, carved with images of the pharaoh making offerings to the gods. Beyond it, in the open space between the temple walls and the city, hundreds of people are gathered. Farmers in rough linen, merchants in finer clothes, mothers with children on their hips, old men leaning on sticks, young women with flowers in their hair. They see you. A murmur runs through the crowd, the sound of hope, the sound of longing. You raise your arms. May the gods bless you and keep you, you say. Your voice carries. You have been trained to project without shouting. May Ammonius watch over you in the day. May Ra warm you with his light. May Sekhmet protect you from all harm. May Ma'at guide your steps. May you know peace. May you know plenty. May you know the joy of serving something greater than yourselves. The crowd is silent, listening. Go now. Return to your homes. Return to your work. But carry this blessing with you. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The gods are with you. The temple is with you. And so am I. You lower your arms. The crowd begins to disperse, but many of them linger, looking at you, hoping for more. You cannot give them more. Not today. But you meet their eyes, one by one. as many as you can. A nod here, a smile there, a whispered word of encouragement. This is your work. This is your life. This is your honor. You turn away from the gate. Kenti is beside you. His face is thoughtful. "High Priest," he says quietly, "you blessed them in the name of the gods, but you did not ask anything of the gods for them. You simply declared the blessing, as if it were already true." You look at him. It is already true. The blessing is not something the gods give or withhold. It is the nature of reality. The people do not need to beg for it. They simply need to remember it. My role is to remind them. Kenti is silent, but you can see that something has shifted in him. Another layer of understanding has settled into place. The afternoon is fading. The evening is approaching. There is still work to be done, but the hardest part of the day is over. The sun is low in the western sky. It hangs just above the horizon, swollen and red, too bright to look at directly. The clouds around it are on fire with color, orange and pink and purple. The sky above is deep blue, fading to violet in the east where the first stars are beginning to appear. You stand in the great courtyard, facing west. The sacred bark is beside you again, the same one that held the statue of Ra this morning. The linen curtains are drawn back. The statue of Ammonius Ra is visible, catching the last light of the sun. His golden face glows. His lapis lazuli eyes reflect the dying light. The other priests are gathered behind you, 40 of them, standing in rows. Their hands are folded. Their heads are bowed. They are chanting softly, the same chant from this morning, but different now. Slower, lower, more somber. This is the evening ceremony, the closing of the day, the sending of Ra into the underworld. You raise your arms. The chanting stops. Ra is setting in the western sky, you say. The great god is weary. He has traveled across the heavens since dawn. He has given light and life to all the world. Now he must rest. But his rest is not easy. His rest is a battle. You turn and face the bark. You bow to the statue. Go with our prayers. O Ra, may Apophis not prevail. May chaos not triumph. May you sail through the underworld in peace. May you rise again tomorrow, as you have risen every day since the beginning of time. We will watch for you. We will wait for you. We will welcome you when you return. The other priests respond in unison. Their voices are strong, even in the fading light. Go in peace. Fight in peace. Return in peace. You light the evening lamps, one by one, torches on the walls, oil lamps on stands. The flames flicker to life, casting a golden glow over the courtyard. The stones seem to change color in this light. They become warmer, softer. The carved hieroglyphics seem to move. the shadows behind them shifting as the flames dance. The final offerings are made. Small this time, piece of bread, a sip of beer, a pinch of incense, not because the god needs less at night, but because the evening ceremony is simpler, more intimate. The morning ceremony welcomes the god with joy. The evening ceremony bids him farewell with love. You watch as the last wisp of incense smoke rises into the darkening sky. Curls and twists, invisible now against the darkness, but you know it is there. It is rising. It is ascending. It is carrying the prayers of all the priests, all the people, all of Egypt, into the realm of the divine. The ceremony ends. The priests bow. They begin to disperse. Some go to their quarters to rest. Others go to the night chapels, where they will perform the rituals that protect the temple while Ra makes his journey through the underworld. The temple never sleeps. There is always someone watching, always someone praying, always someone keeping the balance. You stand alone in the courtyard for a long time, watching the last light fade from the western sky, watching the stars appear, one by one, scattered across the darkness like seeds thrown on dark soil. The day is done. You have performed the rituals. You have made the offerings. You have taught the young priest. You have blessed the people. You have spent time in the inner sanctum, communing with the hidden one. You have done everything that was asked of you, everything that was required. And now you rest. You return to your simple quarters. The small room is dark. You do not light a lamp. You do not need one. Your hands find the sleeping mat. Your knees find the floor. You sit for a moment, letting your body settle. The day's work is complete. The weight of responsibility lifts from your shoulders, not because you are abandoning it, but because you are trusted to rest. The gods do not ask for constant effort. They ask for faithful effort and then faithful rest. Both are sacred. Both are necessary. You lie down on the mat. The stone floor is cool beneath the linen. You pull a thin blanket over your body. You close your eyes. As the sun descends and the stars begin to appear, you rest. Your body is tired, but your spirit is renewed. You think of the millions of sunrises you have witnessed in this temple, and the millions yet to come after your life is ended. The temple continues. The rituals continue. The gods continue. And you, for this brief moment in eternity, have been privileged to serve. The sounds of the temple settle around you. The distant murmur of the night priests, the soft crackle of the torches in the courtyard, the whisper of the wind through the columns. The temple breathes. It has been breathing for centuries. It will breathe for centuries more. You are small. You know this. A single human life is nothing compared to the life of the temple. A single human life is nothing compared to the life of the stars. And yet, you are part of it. You belong. Your prayers, your offerings, your love for the divine. All of it matters. All of it is woven into the great fabric of existence. As your eyes close and sleep begins to claim you, you remember the words of Ma'at, the truth that has guided you since you were a child, the truth that will guide you until you die. In truth, in balance, in order, all is well. Not all is perfect. Not all is easy. The serpent is always waiting. Chaos is always pressing at the edges. But all is well, because you are not alone, because the divine is with you, because the sun will rise again. Your breathing slows. Your body sinks deeper into the mat. The coolness of the stone rises up to meet the warmth of your back. You are comfortable. You are safe. You are home. The stars turn slowly above the temple. Orion rises in the east. Sirius follows. The constellations that your ancestors watched are the same ones you watch now. They have not changed. They will not change. They are eternal. And somehow, impossibly, so are you. The part of you that watched the sunrise this morning is the same part that will watch the sunrise tomorrow. The part of you that knelt before the shrine of Ammonius is the same part that will kneel there again. The body will age. The mind will fade. But the spirit, the awareness, the deep I am, that does not change. That is eternal. Sleep now, knowing that tomorrow the sun will rise again, as it always has, as it always will, and you will be there to welcome it. But not yet, for now there is only this, the darkness, the silence, the softness of sleep coming to claim you like a mother lifting a tired child. Let go. Let go of the day. Let go of the thoughts. Let go of the body. Let yourself float on the great river of sleep, carried by currents that have carried every human being who has ever lived. You are not falling. You are not disappearing. You are simply returning. Returning to the source. Returning to the stillness. Returning to the peace that was there before you were born and will be there after you are gone. Sleep well, dear listener. The temple guards the night. The gods watch over you. And all is well.